I'm 11 years old, and I'm in the 6th grade, and it's Christmas time, and we're making gingerbread houses. And this is about the time in life where it's no longer cool to be smart, but it's still okay to be crafty. So I go after my gingerbread house with a fervor, and I icing on the gumdrops for the shingles, and I icing on the M&Ms around the door, and I pay such attention to detail that it's intoxicating, but not intoxicating enough for me to not notice, as always, that I'm not the one being noticed. Because you see, I'm 11, and I'm still a little girl, and I still have my litany of stuffed animals, and I still have my golden retriever who I snuggle while I watch The Cosby Show. But things are starting to change, and I'm having these uncomfortable feelings, and I'm confused a lot, and all of a sudden I'm judging my body in the mirror, and I'm comparing myself to other girls, and I really, really want the boys to notice me. So I'm making my gingerbread house, and I'm hiding behind it, and I'm watching J.C. Kramer flirting with Amy Lennox. J.C. Kramer is a soccer jock, and he has a sporty mullet, which is better than a traditional mullet because it has purpose. And Amy Lennox is the skater chick, and she has baggy pants, and she has mall bangs that are so high that the teacher makes her sit in the back of the class during movies. And J.C. Kramer goes after Amy Lennox with this fierce flirtation, and Amy Lennox is aloof. And that makes him even more crazy. So he goes after her even stronger, and she's even more aloof. And it continues like this on, and I'm watching, captivated, because none of this makes any sense to me. It's like watching the Nat Geo channel, and there's the birds of prey doing that crazy mating dance. You're like, how does that end up like that? That's what's going on. But all I know is I want to be a part of it. But my only way of knowing J.C. Kramer is the fact that he's my neighbor. And we both walk to school, and we walk on the same sidewalk, and we walk on the same path, and either I'm looking at his back on the way to school and on the way home, or he's looking at my back on the way to school and on the way home. We sometimes exchange generic niceties, but that's where it ends. And typically I walk to and from school with friends. But on this one particular winter day, I'm walking home from school by myself. And it's fine, because it's the last day of school before winter break. And I can feel the next 2 weeks of Christmas carols, Christmas movies, Christmas cookies in the warmth of the house and sleeping in. And I'm carrying this gingerbread house that I worked so hard on home as a gift to my mother. And so, I'm by myself, walking home, mittened hands, gingerbread house on the tray. It's an icy sidewalk, so I'm paying really close attention. And the wind is whipping and wailing and flinging my bangs into my eyes, but I can't do anything because my mittened hands are both being used. And the wind makes it very hard to hear what's going on around me because I have earmuffs on, and it's just all muffled. So that means what happens next is an utter shock. As I'm walking and I'm taking my steps, someone comes up behind me and tackles me, takes me around the waist and throws me forward. And I dive forward, and my gingerbread house that I worked so hard to create flies from the tray and soars through the air in agonizing slow motion before it hits the sidewalk in 100 pieces. And I fall to the sidewalk behind it with a thud. I know, I'm disoriented, and all I could think of is, am I about to be mugged here? What happened? I turn around, and behind me is J.C. Kramer, climbing up off the ground, brushes off his pants, and he says, "Didn't realize you were holding that." And then, Merry Christmas. Off he goes. And I sit there for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, who knows how much time went by. I'm feeling battered, I'm cold, I'm scratched up. My house is in 1,000 pieces on the sidewalk. And I don't know what to make of any of it. I can't even bring myself to say anything, to think anything. Time passes enough for me to pull myself together. Pull it together. I got the pieces of my little creation. I put it on the tray. I pull myself up. I'm going to slowly make my way back home to the warmth of my house. And all I can think of was, that was awesome. J.C. Kramer had never paid attention to me before that, at all. I felt like I grew an inch. I felt like I was oozing with life experience all of a sudden. And I couldn't help but to think, oh, I sure as hell hope that Christmas break goes by fast, because I want to get back to school. I want to show my 6th grade friends how mature and worldly I am now. Right.